So, mm, I would say good evening, but it's not in the evening. It is, let's see, 2:39 in the morning. I know I sound kind of stuffy and sick because I am sick. Came down with a virus, but it's been now about 2, 3, no, about 3, 4 days to be exact. But what I want to discuss this morning, which is this is the best time for me to work, less distractions in the morning hours, especially at this time. Lately there's been statements, or should I say not so much statements, but individuals having some concerns like domestic violence survivors. I am a domestic violence survivor, now thriver of a little over 35 years. I consider myself as a thriver because I have accomplished so much within that 35-year time frame. Um, but I wasn't certain, or should I say, I wasn't aware that there are several domestic violence survivors who may have gone through their domestic violence, and it's been quite some time for them too. However, many of them are having difficulty being able to move on. I have been asked, well, how do you become a thriver from a survivor? And my response is always going to be the first thing, a self-assessment on you. Look at you. Look at what could have caused you to become vulnerable enough for the abuser, whether it may be a spouse or boyfriend or partner. But do a self assessment. Look within yourself and see what could have possibly caused you to become vulnerable enough for the abuser to want to control you. I had to do the same, and that's why I say a self assessment first. After the self assessment, work on self esteem and self worth. Oftentimes, when individuals are subjected to forms of abuse, whether it is domestic violence, sex trafficking, um, it almost appears as though we have the word abuse me or vulnerability across our foreheads. Well, we really don't. But abusers, perpetrators, they know. It's like a dog. A dog can sense out a cat anywhere. Same thing with abusers and perpetrators. They know the vulnerable women out there that are either looking for a friend, looking for someone to console them for whatever the reason it may be, because they recently broke up with their significant other, or they may have lost a loved one like a parent, grandparent. But again, for whatever reason, they know and they will sniff you out. Also, with that, I can see survivors who have children not knowing how to move forward, because when you're in a domestic violence marriage relationship and you have children with the abuser, it's very difficult to just pack up and you take you and your children and go on and start a new life in another state or another country. It's not that easy because no matter where you are, where you go, the abuser, the perpetrator, the children's father has the right to know where you are. And if you live in any state like I live in Texas, the laws are very strict when it comes to if there's not a court order that say that the parent cannot take the child out the state or the country, then that parent has the right to decide to take that child out the state, cross state lines. However, things are different if there is a court order in place, uh, child support or custody order that states one or both parents are not allowed to take the child over state line. So for that reason, I can understand a mother with children being stuck. I call it stuck because um, as long as they have those children, as long as she has those children, and until those children turn 18 years of age, the father's going to always be on the heel. And she may decide, I really don't want my kids. I just want my significant other back. I want my partner back. And that's what we've been seeing a lot of involving domestic violence, where the victim does not want to continue in a relationship with the abuser, but they have children together. With that said, we've seen it so many times recently that the abuser will take it upon him or herself and kill the children, kill the significant other, she's the victim, and then oftentimes will kill themselves. That's what's been really going on a rise right now here in the US. Men, well, I'm not going to say men, males are having difficulty with the detachment of their spouses, their girlfriends, their significant others, as if they have a difficulty with adjusting and moving forward once the victim and the children move on. I've heard some say a lot of it has to do with parenting, lack thereof, of their parents, what their parents did not do with them, and teaching them the appropriate social skills and correcting their behavior when they did act out when they were little. No, I don't mean spanking them, but just correcting them, pulling to the side and say, look, we don't do that. You don't throw anything because you're upset. There are other ways that you can express how you feel without throwing things. Excuse me, my throat is really sore. And I'm very congested, as you can hear. But that was really important for me to address today. And it's not only happening in the US, but because there are women that are being murdered all around, nationwide. It appears that women and children are targets right now. No matter what country you visit, you will hear or read something in the headlines or in the news. Another woman murdered, another child killed. It's sad, But it has come to this that women and children are no longer seen as being respected, appreciated, treasured, and loved like it used to be once upon a time. Now, don't get me wrong, I know I'm going to hear some people say, well, um, domestic violence has been going on for centuries. That I know. But it has not come to the surface like it has recently and over the years. Some want to blame it on COVID. I don't want to blame it on COVID only. Um, During COVID, we did see a spike, but there were spikes even before COVID. Okay. And it's sad. Again, it goes back to social skills lack thereof. Because we saw when COVID hit, so many couples, married couples, roommates, children had to work from home, had to be homeschooled um, by the parents, or we provided laptops so that the schools, their teachers can communicate with them. But there was a spike because couples weren't able to be in the same room with one another during COVID. Couples started getting on one another's nerves. And that's where I come in with regards to an upcoming 8 weeks domestic violence boot camp that I will be hosting August 26, 2024, and it will go on until October 14th, 2024. You can find that information either on my website at domesticviolencellc.com. When you uh, access that webpage, scroll down just a midway, um, and you will see 2 barcodes. The third barcode, well, I say the second barcode, there's only but 2 barcodes on that webpage. But the second barcode that you see to the right, it will say, I left my abuser. I don't know what to do. That is the barcode you will scan and you will reserve your ticket. Okay? And in that lesson, that will be part 1 and 2. I'm sorry, that will be part 2 to 3. Previous lecture had completed, but the 8 week domestic violence boot camp, you will see that mentioned on my webpage. However, that is also mentioned through Eventbrite. So if you have an account, or even if you don't have an account with Eventbrite, I don't believe you need to have an account in order to access an event, but it is through Eventbrite. So what you do is you can either type domestic violence, and you should well, the system will display a list of so many domestic violence upcoming events from now, I believe, and through the rest of the year. I think Eventbrite, if I'm not mistaken, will allow you to create an upcoming lecture or webinar no more than 6 months out. So again, go to Eventbrite, type in domestic violence, and you will see all of the domestic violence events that are scheduled for this month, next month, and so on. And you will find me, Domestic Violence LLC, 8 weeks domestic violence boot camp. I look forward to seeing you because the first week we will go over um, what is the new thing about dating today. Years ago, dating was you meet someone, whether you're walking your dog, you're going grocery shopping, but now, over time, it's now apps. So Are the apps a good thing to meet someone? And also, that first we will discuss meeting someone in church. Is church a good thing to meet someone as a lifelong partner? So all of this we'll be discussing that first week. So I'm so excited because I'm just going to take you through the process of what I've learned when I've done my self assessment. Had I taken the right steps in choosing my forever, I don't believe I would have been subjected to domestic violence. And that is something we women too often jump into. Also, men, because for the record, for many of you who are not aware, men are abused as well. Like you don't hear about it most of because it's embarrassing. It makes a man, it causes a man to feel less than a man to report that his significant other, his partner, his spouse is beating on him. But there are people, there are other opinions about that. And you'll hear so many other individuals say, well, if he's a man, he should be able to handle it. No, 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 no. And I can vouch for that because my son is 38 and he was always taught never to put his hands on a woman. When he was younger, he was 4 years older than his sister. And of course, she's the little sister. She would go into his room and mess with his toys. And he would just hit her. That's mine. No, we don't do that. No, we don't do that. So my children had known at a very young, especially my son, you don't put your hands on any female, okay? Um, if you believe that you cannot get along or there's something this individual, this woman is doing to you that you don't like, you always have a choice to walk away. You don't have to stay in a relationship where a woman is degrading you as a man and disrespecting you. No, you don't. You don't have to do that. And with that said, if you both have children um, and she's disrespecting and demeaning you and making you feel less than, take it to court. File, file for um, co, um, what is that? Oh gosh, what is that called? Co-parenting. File for co-parenting. You leave. If file for divorce. Now I know there are going to be so many um, holy and thou, and I said holy and thou. I know exactly what I just said. Holy and thou individuals who will say, well, it's against the Bible to divorce. It's against the Bible for this. Okay, granted, I'm a PK. Okay, I know the Bible from in and out. Okay, um, nowhere in the Bible does it tell women or even men to stay in a marriage if you're being beaten, you're being strangled, you're being dragged, punched, slapped. Okay? Nowhere in the Bible does it say that. Uh, and the problem with that is down through history, people have distorted the Bible to fit them, to fit their circumstances. We saw that during slavery. So many Christians came out and, quoting scriptures left and right as to the reason they were lynching black folks. Uh, but no, because one thing the Ten Commandments does say, thou shalt not kill. And many of them killed many black slaves. Uh, and then you go on, like I said, down through history. Every time somebody evil does something, they always want to quote the Bible to make it appease what they're doing. No, 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 no. So, again, please visit Eventbrite and check out part 2 and part 3 of I Left My Abuser. That is the continuation of part 1 of Domestic Violence Does Not Discriminate. How do I go from survivor to thriver? Okay, and it was great talking to you. I know that probably have a lot of hitbacks. People saying, well, she shouldn't have been on there, but she was silent like that. But hey, it goes with the program. It's okay. It's okay. I've had worse criticism than that being a child. Okay, so it's all good. It's all good. I just want to keep it 100 in what I'm sharing with you guys out there. So you have a blessed morning. Those of you working overnight, just getting off, or you guys, when I say guys, I'm speaking guys, I'm speaking in general terms, women and males. Those of you who are having to just get up, it's now 3 o'clock in the morning, to go to work, you have a blessed and a safe and a pleasant, what's today now, Thursday? Yeah, we have a pleasant, safe, and blessed Thursday. Have a blessed and good morning for me and good night for me. Bye bye.